Tom Vattakuzhy became something of an overnight sensation on social media as his painting Death of Gandhi went viral, being tweeted and retweeted by politicians, celebrities, and art enthusiasts alike. So, artists have long paid homage to Gandhi, but in the last few years, some sensitive artists have felt the need to revisit his values and ideas by exploring not only his life but also his death, the assassination of his person, as well as the values he stood for. Tom's Death of Gandhi, like A. Ramachandran's sculpture, the monumental Gandhi, holds a mirror to the madness that continues to eliminate Gandhi in spirit time and time again. But we are not discussing Death of Gandhi today. What we have before us is a painting that followed it, the snake charmer. Now, there was a time when snake charmers went around visiting markets in search of crowds. So basically, they were poor people devising a way to secure a livelihood. And oftentimes, the people gathering around the charmer were far better off than the snake charmer himself. However, when in the 19th century the snake charmers were depicted by Orientalist artists, exotic glamour and glitz were added to them. Because after all, Oriental paintings were meant for the consumption of the Western elites. Thus, it is only natural that the Oriental painters from the West often put up a great show of wealth and prosperity in their paintings, along with exotic elements to pique the rich man's curiosity. In such depictions, the story told is a falsity as it doesn't correspond to ground reality. Like the snake charmer, the Western painter also engages in a deceptive, self-serving act in the hope of a better life. At this point, the painter becomes an accomplice in buttressing the tenets of Orientalism, the dominant narrative of the day. Tom, on the other hand, has taken out the Orientalist gloss from his painting. His allegiance seems to rest with the ordinary men both within and outside of his canvas. Unlike the Orientalist painter, he does not subscribe to the method of deception epitomized by the snake charmer. On the contrary, Tom exposes the snake charmer's con in an attempt to break the spell that not only arrests the attention of the snake but also hypnotizes the onlookers to a state of stupor. And since the composition of the men within the painting forms a semicircle that extends beyond the canvas, it helps complete the circle with spectators of the painting joining in and forming the crowd. The painting transports us to the middle of a dark night. In the deadliest of silence, a steady light shines on danger, and the ominous music keeps knocking the poor men like persistent waves caressing submerged rocks, looking for a crack and an opening. Rocked gently by the music, the men remain mostly benumbed, breathing in the heaviness of the air and the darkness looming large over them. The trance spreads slowly and moves them slowly. It weathers them down and gradually drowns their sensibilities. And soon the snake charmer is able to mold their minds a musical note at a time. The snake charmer rules the space and controls the narrative like an emperor. Like an emperor, he sits in the middle wearing fancy clothes that stand out from his half-naked followers. The white and the saffron of his attire and the monkey's green skirt conjure a symbolic image of India. But the very fact that only saffron is highlighted and the green has been moved out to wrap the monkey's waist undercuts the true spirit of India. The symbolic significance is reduced to a tamasha, a mockery of a worthy idea. The emperor does not speak, but sets the tune and the spotlight and creates a narrative around it. Like a master puppeteer, he pulls the right strings and controls the show. The mongoose, killed by the snake, lies dead. But nobody sees, at least they do not see it for what it is. Danger and death are before them, well lit, but all they see is the snake dancing to the snake charmer's tune. The fact that snakes don't have ears or that they only follow the movement of the flute is news that hasn't reached them yet. We also see a deluded convert at the far right corner who holds on to the talon of a hawk, nature's very own device for keeping snakes in check. Blessed with piercing eyes, the hawk is a living embodiment of the high soaring ideal of free spirit and righteousness. It can see through deception and swiftly deliver justice. But has it also been compromised? Has it turned into a caged parrot speaking in its master's voice? So the concern is not only the manipulation of men, but also the brazen takeover of the institution of justice. These gullible men are so taken by the emperor's new clothes that they don't even see their own nakedness. They have forgotten all about the feeling called hunger. Gandhi, or as Churchill called him, the half-naked fakir, makes a comeback in this painting, but quite discreetly this time. Stripping himself of the Western suit and by embracing a rudimentary form of clothing, along with the politicization of mass clothing through the promotion of khadi, Gandhi was indeed bridging many gaps, including that between the leader and his followers. Though not present in person, this Gandhian spirit and moral presents itself as a positive alternative to the snake charmer's politics. This apart, one can also see Gandhi's three wise monkeys manifesting the principle of see no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil. As if to give his viewers a clue, Tom paints the speak no evil monkey as an actual monkey, sitting with his human brothers, even sharing with them a common crouching posture. To the monkey's right, one also finds a young boy whose eyes have been shut, and a man who covers his ears with his hands. The determination with which he presses his hands over the ears is a powerful act of defiance that makes no secret of his intention to take matters into his own hands. Similarly, amidst huddled men and their hollow gesture, another action stands out. On recognizing the snake charmer's performance as the real source of poison, we notice how it is actually the father who covers the child's eyes with his own hand. It dawns on him quickly that this is not what he had signed up for. And the normalization of violence is definitely not a lesson he wants his children to learn. In a sense, the key to the painting lies in our understanding of the phrase, see no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil. Because neither those who surrender and assist the snake charmer, nor those who act and resist him, see, hear, or speak evil in their own respective ways. However, their motivation and worldview couldn't be more different from one another. Perhaps a more accurate and less confusing maxim would be to speak, hear, and see nothing but the truth. Tom is well aware of the ethos of our time that is well defined and ruled by post-truth politics. Nonetheless, as little acts of resistance glimmer, Tom encourages us to take small steps towards truth.